Hey everybody, what's up? Mike Gross here, youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1 and rockinguitarlessons.com. Robert McKay, I got to say his name now because I wrote it on my phone so I wouldn't forget it. But I get tons of emails and they're not always song requests. Actually, a lot of times, just if you saw them, you'd be like, whoa. You know, people hear your sound or certain guitars and want to know what you're using. They want to know what kind of strings you're using, what effect you're using, what are the milliseconds in the delay that I used, and which is cool, man. There's lots of, this is internet and it's global and it's all around the world, and people hear something and they like it and they get curious. They want to maybe buy that for their themselves. That same effect. So that's kind of how it works. But Robert McKay, and I've had lots of others, I'm just using Robert because this one was a recent one, was asking about me doing a video that's Q&A, questions and answers. So I had to pick something to kind of explain, for the topic here. And one of the questions that I've had several times is guitar related, obviously, but what are my favorite guitars to use? So I thought I'd elaborate on that a little bit and also tell you the guitars that I have played throughout my life, which are many. So you ready? Let's do it. Is this even recording? Yes, it is. So, going way back to the 80s, my first guitar was, my first electric was bought at JCPenney's. It was called a Skylark. And ended up shooting that up with a BB gun when I got my next guitar, which was an Ibanez Flying V that I got at this music store. And it's called a Guitar Store in Pomona, I still remember. Really unique, cool looking Flying V guitar. I felt like I was Randy Rhoads when I had it. Had a Kahler. No, it didn't have a Kahler tremolo system. I ended up taking out that system. I asked my mom for Christmas, begged her. I wanted a Kahler. I'm not a big Kahler fan now. I'm more like Floyd Rose, but this Kahler was super smooth. Like this little tiniest bit of pressure would like whammy it. And it's just not really my style. Like a little more tension on it. Not super tight, but in between. So I've always, for the most part, been a Floyd Rose guy. But anyways, back on topic. I should have wrote this down, but I think they'll come to me. I'm probably going to leave some out. That Ibanez V I loved, man. My band, one of my first more serious bands as a teen was called Antioch, with my buddy Les Deal, my cousin Charlie, and drummer Dave. But that guitar got me through a lot, man, until it got ripped off out of this church we used to practice in. We'd leave our equipment there, and ended up getting stolen. And I was very, very sad. That was so that was an Ibanez, and I've never seen another one like it. It was just a different kind of V. It wasn't just little details were different on it. So after that, let me think for a second. I'm just going to list. I'm not going to remember in order guitars that I've owned, but I've had Fender Strat that I liked and I wish I would have kept. It was actually a made in Mexico baby blue Strat. At the time I was playing more of a metal rock thing, and I was like, oh no, it doesn't have the sound. And after I sold it, like a year later, I was bummed. Sold it to one of my best friends, and he ended up selling it to someone. So anyways, and it was cool. It was a tone machine, man, let me tell you. So Fender Strat, I've never owned a Telly. So we have the Skylark, we have Ibanez, we have Fender, Les Paul, had for a short time in the 90s. Gosh, most of these guitars, if I still had them now, geez. Charvel, Jackson, had a white one that had a performance neck. I had the neck scalped on it, and man, that thing was a beast. That was probably when I was about 20, 20 to 21 years old, and I had that for a long time, and like a Fool, I sold that. Performance neck was, from what I remember, was something that Steve Vai had designed and had something to do with. And man, talking like, this thing was like butter, let me tell you, so smooth. Then, let's see, other ones that I've owned. Yamaha, which my Sparkle guitar here, well, you guys have seen it, but loving that Yamaha a lot. This is, I think, the first Yamaha I've ever owned, and I don't ever plan on getting rid of it. And let's see, several Ibanez's. You know, I've owned more Ibanez's than anything over the years. Bought some, you know, sold some. The yellow one that I play, which is one of my all-time favorites, I actually had sold that and then got it back from the person, bought it back from him a couple of years later because he noticed I wasn't the same anymore. I was kind of sad. So anyways, that's a Dean. I did own a Dean electric and acoustic, and really like those. And then some, like, you know, independent kind of custom builders. This is Bootleg Bones by X-Ray Guitar, which is obviously modeled after the George Lynch guitar. I got to do some setup work on this, but I really do like it. It's got the pull knob where you can split the pickup. I feel like I'm leaving something out. ESP. I did own an ESP, orange one. Sold that. It might even be in a few of my early videos. I can't remember. Which is a cool guitar. So a lot of the major brands that are out there I've had. What is my personal favorite? Right now, at the moment, I'm going to go with Ibanez. I think it's because from early on, I got really adjusted to the Ibanez neck. I like narrow necks, and you know, just the feel of them. But geez, I've probably owned 5, 6 Ibanez's in my life, and now I got the new one that Les sent me, which is amazing. I love that equally as much as my yellow one, and Les set it up just killer. I'm looking forward to getting this set up again because I was really digging it. Just having a few little, I need to have it intonated and have some stuff checked out. I think that's it, man. I think that's it. So now I've answered some questions. You guys can comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your favorite guitars are. It could be guitar or bass. I'm curious. And we'll put these videos up once in a while. I want to get to some of your questions as well. This channel, you never know what you're going to get. Obviously, you're always going to get lessons, but I want to answer some of the questions that you guys have. Who knows what the future holds? There's some endorsements.